Is college worth it? Hi, this is Justin from Money Bootcamp. Today's personal finance Friday question is college worth it? The question of is college worth it or is it not worth it is a big one. It's going to be very personal for you, but let's look at some of the bigger picture here. I'm a big believer in using the time with college or even an apprenticeship to develop yourself. This is the same whether it's college or an apprenticeship where you're learning. There's not necessarily a lot expected of you in this time. It's okay to be learning more about yourself, trying out different things. This doesn't work so much with a normal job because you will fall into your daily routine and a lot more will be expected of you. While you're in college or doing an apprenticeship, you should have some extra time. You can be learning different things, you can be reading books, you can be meeting new people, making friends, even traveling a bit. Hopefully you'll have a bit of money and you can try more and more things. So actually taking the time you have for college or an apprenticeship, be that 2 to 4 years, you will not get that time again as an adult to learn about what you want in this world. So the big question to ask when you're trying to figure out is college worth it is, what are you going to college for? If you're going to college for a job afterwards, it can or it can't be worth it depending on what you do and how you use that. If you go for a very specific field, so say you study nursing, you go into medicine to become a doctor, go into engineering or accountancy, or study sciences, these have direct career paths that you're basically doing a degree training for a job. So if you're doing one of these areas, you can say college is going to be worth it because I'll come out the other end with a career. If you're going into college to do a course that has no career path after or is much hazier on that, it may not be worth it purely career-wise. So if you're going into college because you're interested in an area, you want to learn more about it, that's fine, but you just have to be aware and comfortable with the idea that career-wise, it may not be of the same value as a specific field like engineering that directly leads into engineering as a career path. If you are going to value college only by what you get paid for afterwards, then some areas won't make as much sense. So if you're going into an apprenticeship as well, you're training for a specific field, you'll probably have an idea of what you can earn. This is the same with the college paths that lead to certain careers. However, if you're in a hazier career path, or if you're in a field that has a much harder path to get into the actual career itself, this may not be of value to you career-wise. So if you're fine with that and you're doing it for the interest, that's great. But if that's not what you're valuing and that's not what you're looking for college, maybe you don't want to go into that area. If you're going into college just to broaden your knowledge and to explore these interests you have, great. Just be aware of that. Back to our question of is college worth it? You need to look at it in a certain way. So you need to think, is the time, the cost, and the opportunity cost worth it for you? If you have an interest in philosophy and you have to study for 3 to 6 years to finish your course, maybe a postgraduate degree after it as well, you have to think about the time you put in, the cost, so maybe you have to take on some debt to pay for this, and then the opportunity cost. What could you have studied otherwise? What area could you have just gone to work for otherwise? What would you be earning at the end of that? So you need to think about the different paths you would go on. If you're going purely for the interest, that's fine. But if you are there looking for a career path, certain areas could just be left for hobbies. So say philosophy, if you want to study philosophy, you can do it on the side as a hobby and then focus on a different area in college or in your career. The final point I want to leave you with here is that there is no clear path. I'm trying not to just poo-poo some of the softer degrees like philosophy here, some of the arts degrees, because whatever you study does not become your destiny. There are people who have spent years studying medicine only to discover that they hate working in medicine. They don't like working with people. it depresses them to be around sick people all of the time. So they effectively waste 5-6 years of their life becoming qualified because they never want to work in it anyway. And there's people who have done arts degrees, philosophy degrees, and then actually gone and worked in IT or some other area and earned huge money and had a great career. So whatever you study does not mean that's your destiny and you're going to go on a certain path, but it is worth considering beforehand. People do change careers far more often in modern times, so it is fine to change career, and it's fine to change from one area to another. But again, it actually is very worth your time to question whether college is going to be worth it for you, whether your apprenticeship is going to be worth it for you, and then decide with a slightly more informed idea. This has been a Personal Finance Friday question from Money Bootcamp. If you enjoyed this, please like and share with anyone you think will find it helpful. If you have your own questions, send it to us. We'll get to it as soon as possible. Money Bootcamp, learn money, live better.